Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. In his last birth, a man is endowed with sattva. In his last birth, a man is endowed with sattva. His mind is directed to God. He longs for God. He withdraws his mind from worldly things. Krishnadas Pal came here. I found him full of rajas. But it must be said that he observed the Hindu customs. He left his shoes outside before entering the room. After a little conversation, I discovered that he had no stuff inside. I asked him about man's duty. He said, to do good to the world. I said, my dear sir, who are you? What good will you do to this world? Is world such a small thing that you can think you can help it? Narayan arrived. Sri Ramakrishna was very happy to see him. Now you see many things that we often think of serving this world. The serving this world is all right, it is not wrong, and we need it. Somewhere we have to sacrifice our all. But I will do good to the world. What can we do? The world is governed by a perfect law, and I have to be within that law to evolve myself. And now a hungry man comes, you give him food, within another 3 hours he is again hungry. And what tendencies do they carry, we do not know. Give education to a person, immediately he gets a job and jumps into the world. He wants to enjoy the world. He never thinks of how did I get education? Who helped me? Let me help others. That thought never comes. The inner propensities drive him. He has come with a past. You'll feel after bringing up a child to this age of being self-dependent, and now you see he has run into the world to soil himself. And did I do all this? What all I have given him, is it only making him get soiled? If I had not given him education, perhaps he would not have soiled himself. That kind of thinking. We try to do good, but it may not effect as good at all. While educating a boy, we'll be thinking that I am bringing up, I am spending for his education, I am bringing up. But if he goes in the wrong path because of the education, see, with the same education, I can do a beautiful computer which helps mankind. I can make a similar computer which can destroy the man's life. I can create destructive items in the world. I can do constructive items in the world with the same knowledge. How am I going to use is my past. Can you remove these tendencies which is make him go in one way or other and replace it by evolutionary process? Good is as much bad as bad if it is not linked to the divine or evolution. I am binding myself through good karmas. I am binding myself to this world through a golden chain. And by doing bad in this world, I am binding myself again in the same world with an iron chain. Both are same. He is bound by the good qualities. Another is bound. He has to go beyond good and bad. There comes the spiritual life, the path of evolution. So go beyond, how to go beyond the two. So doing good to the world may bring you good fruits for some time, but you are bound to the world. Even you are imprisoned in the prison house of nature, and having done good karmas, inside the prison house, you are given a good treat, good food. Otherwise, you may be getting bad food in the same world, in the same prison house. But you are in the prison house all the time. If you go beyond good and bad, you come out of the prison house and attain eternal freedom. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, what good can you do to this world? First, if you attain freedom, you can make others free. You are also flowing in the same flood, and you want to help the other man who is in the same flood to save him from the flood. You can't do. But first, the unmoving part along the flood, you have to climb. You have to climb on the bank which is not moving, and then you can save many more people. Narayana arrived. Sri Ramakrishna was very happy to see him. He seated Narayan by his side on a small couch. He showed him his love by stroking his body and giving him sweets to eat. Then he asked Narayan tenderly, "Will you have some water?" Narayan was a student at Yam's school. At home, his people bet him for visiting Sri Ramakrishna. The master said to Narayan with an affectionate smile, "You had better a leather jacket, then the beating won't hurt you." Turning to Harish, the master said that he would like to have a smoke. You see, Narayan was a young boy going to school, where M is teaching in the same school. Now that he is going to Sri Ramakrishna, in the house they are beating him with a stick because he is going to Sri Ramakrishna. How the people, you see, a brahmachari joined Belur Math. They could not find him in the house or here or there for many days. Then somehow after 2-3 months, they came to know he is at the Belur Math. And the father came and started shouting at people. And then he wanted to see his son. They sent their son to him. The father was telling him, if you had become a rogue in the street, if you had got into the bad company and you have been some thief or this or that, doing nonsense in the world, I would have been happy. Then you are leaving the home and coming and living here as a sadhu. Means how much of worldliness they have filled in. They have become themselves poison. Not carrying poison. Snakes and all, they carry poison, and when they bite, they inject it. But these people have become poison themselves. That every thought, everything that appears in their mind, see, they cannot, to a man going on the path of evolution to eternal freedom, they consider how they consider, you see. And they are drowning themselves, and what the other who is evolving and going beyond, better, higher and higher, they want him to come with them to get drowned in the ocean of samsara. They are not able to understand, but instead, how they belittle it. We wonder. That kind of people are there. Narayan is being beaten. Ramakrishna is telling, wear a leather jacket, the beatings will not touch you. Making fun. The master said, Narayan, with an affectionate smile, you better get a leather jacket, then the beating won't hurt. Turning to Harish, he said, bring a smoke for me. Again addressing Narayan, Sri Ramakrishna said, that woman who has established an artificial relationship of mother and son with Haripada came here one day. I have warned Haripada very often. She belongs to the Goshpara sect. I asked her if she had found her man. She said yes, and mentioned the man's name. 2 a.m. Nilkanta came here the other day. The difference between worldly people and the people who are beating Narayan know what they are doing, know they are beating. Here, he is giving another example of another person who doesn't know he is erring and making others err. They know they are erring and making others err. But this, a woman looking upon as Krishna or something, she doesn't know she is falling down and making others fall also. Sri Ramakrishna is warning, he is giving the examples how the dangers come. This is one kind of danger. Another kind of danger is unseen, coming as the Maya is coming as a friend. There as an opponent. Here that Maya doesn't want to allow the people so easily to transcend and go beyond. It is terrible opposition, like Hiranyakashipu and Prahlada. Terrible opposition from opposite. Here it is friendly, and both are slipping down. Other side he is taking now. Nilakanta came here the other day. What spiritual fervor he has. See, he said he would come here another day and sing for us. They are dancing over there. Why don't you go and see it? There, other place they are dancing and singing. To Ramlal, there is no oil in the room. Look at the oil jar. The servant has filled it. In those days, the oil lamps were being burnt, 1 or 2 in a room. Here and there, rarely one. In the darkness, small area will be lit by a small lamp, everywhere darkness. It's a beautiful thing. When I was in Kamarpukura also, most of the times electricity won't be there, and electricity, if it is there also, we need a torch to see the bulb burning. So dim it is, the voltage that is to come there is 80 volts. Where is 220 volts and where is 80 volts? It is, suppose you put 100 watts bulb, it will be burning like 0 watt bulb. So dim used to be the light in Kamarpukur. Sitting under the light, we have to put the torch to read. We cannot read in, but we can see objects roughly. So there, the lamp used to be burnt. So here, Sri Ramakrishna has said, the lamp has become dull and small flame because of the oil. Before it puts off, he has to put the oil. Sri Ramakrishna was walking up and down, now in his room, now on the veranda, occasionally pushing on the, pausing on the semicircular porch west of his room. He would look at the Ganges. He's walking from his room to veranda. Occasionally pausing at semicircular porch. One side is a semicircular porch. If you go outside, semicircular porch. If you go outside, you will see the Ganga flowing there. After a little while, he returned to his room and sat on the small couch. It was past 3 in the afternoon. The devotees took their seats on the floor. The master sat in silence before them. Now and then casting a glance at the walls, where many pictures were hanging. To Sri Ramakrishna's left was a picture of Saraswati, and beyond it, a picture of Gaur and Nitai singing kirtan with their devotees. In front of the master hung pictures of Dhruva, Prahlada, and Mother Kali. On the wall to his right was another picture of the Divine Mother, Rajrajeshwari. Behind him was a picture of Jesus Christ raising the drowning Peter. Suddenly Sri Ramakrishna turned to him and said, "You see, it is good to keep pictures of sannyasis and holy men in one's room. When you get up in the morning, you should see the faces of holy persons rather than faces of other men. People with Rajasic qualities keep English pictures on their walls, pictures of rich men, the king, the queen, the Prince of Wales, and white men and women walking together. That shows the Rajasic temperament. You acquire nature of the people whose company you keep. Therefore, in whichever company it is called mob mentality. Some people are around, they are talking something, you become one with that talk. You listen 1 or 2 words, immediately you are getting tuned to that particular subject and the particular way in which they are dealing with the subject. You start flowing with that. Suppose you are there in a group and some people start throwing stones, you too will start throwing stone at a particular. You can see in the bank of river banks or on the seashores, some children go. Whatever one does, all will start following. One person sits, all will sit. He takes a stone and throws in the water. All will take a stone, starts throwing. It is a natural tendency, mob mentality. You acquire the nature of the people whose company you keep. Therefore, even pictures may prove harmful. Again, a man seeks the company that agrees with his own nature. Paramahamsas keep near them few young boys, 5 or 6 years old. They allow such boys to be near them. Attaining that state of Paramahamsa, a man loves the company of boys. Like the Paramahamsas, the boys are not under the control of guna, sattva, rajatama. We seek what is our nature. You can see in the colleges and schools, so many students are there in the college. We become intimate with one. If you analyze and see, I become intimate with a person who has the same nature as myself. Out of those, mind immediately, if he is not in the same nature, immediately mind withdraws, naturally. His way of dealing, his behavior, his thoughts immediately repel. And is something the mind selects within no time, very fast. He is like me. It doesn't calculate, but they become friends. Those who belong to the same nature. We can see this identifying. By looking at the trees, a man awakens his heart, the picture of a hermitage in which Rishi is practicing austerity. By looking at trees, a man awakens in his heart the picture of a hermitage in which rishis are practicing austerity, tapasya. A group of, even we, when we go into the vast forests or here there, first thought comes is when a group of trees are there giving a small shelter in the center, or there is a huge tree under which there is something like a cave, we are immediately reminded of the ancient rishis who used to select such places where shelter is there from sun and rain, where they can easily sit there calmly and meditate. The sages used to select such places. They'll be walking or moving, but when such a place comes, they'll be staying for a few days to go further. A Brahmin from Shinti entered the room and saluted Sri Ramakrishna. He had studied Vedanta in Benares. He was stout and had a smiling face. Master, hello, how are you? You have not been here for a long time. Pandit smiling. Worldly duties, sir. You know, I have very little leisure. Not the studies or this or that. He studied Vedanta. Worldly duties are pressing him, not allowing him. The Pandit sat down. The master began to talk with him. Master, you spent a long time in Benares. Tell us what you saw there. Tell us something about Dayananda. How Sri Ramakrishna is taking him. Now he is telling about the worldly dues binding him, and he is not able to come so easily. Sri Ramakrishna is reminding him of what all he has acquired in his life. You spent so many years there. The one thought, if you take him once to his early days of life, the extreme past which is forgotten, is in Vedanta. He has learned Vedanta since staying many years at Banaras. He has forgotten totally because of the worldly duties pressing him. Now, this, if anybody reminds, the reminding of the how he spent the days, what he has acquired there, once it comes to mind, it becomes immediate past. Immediately a kind of repentance comes. What am I doing? What God has given me? What nature had provided me? And where am I? What am I doing? Sri Ramakrishna is taking him to those days. Pandit, yes sir, I met him, about Dayananda. You also met him, did you not? Master, yes, I visited him. He was living then in a garden house on the other side of the Ganges. Keshav was expected there that day. He longed for Keshav as Chatak bird longs for rain. He was a great scholar and made fun of Bengali language. He admitted the experience of the deities, but Keshav did not. The God has form, Keshav did not accept, but he accepted. Dayananda used to say, God has created so many things. Could not he have created the deities? Dayananda believed the ultimate reality to be without form. Captain was repeating the name of Rama. Dayananda said to him sarcastically, better repeat Sandesh, Sandesh. Sandesh is name of a sweet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.